Hey, Sarah, you look pretty.
Thank
Look
you.
at that hair laid to the side, girl.
And it's all me, girl. It's all
Oh,
me.
go ahead, do the fingers. Do the finger test. I can't do the finger test. This wig gonna come off. Woo!
This me. This me. This me.
Don't play with it. She ain't body and cake. Genetics, baby. You look good. I love
Thank
that.
you.
I can't wait for the Kendra cam because I'm loving the top of your outfit.
Thank you.
Okay, Sarah, where you calling us from, girl? The all-new Kendra G Singles dating app is available now on iPhones and Android phones. Just go to your App Store or Google Play Store and download now.
I am in Greenville, South Carolina.
Okay, Greenville. How old are you?
I'm 42.
42. What you do for a living?
I'm a college professor.
College professor. You have any kids?
I have 3 children.
How old are your three kids?
My oldest is 22. My daughter is 21. And my little one is 5.
Five. 22, 21, and 5.
Yes.
Sarah, Greenville, South Carolina, 42, college professor. Are all your kids by the same man?
No, my first two by my ex-husband, and then the 5-year-old is from another relationship.
Okay. And when did you get divorced? Years ago?
Years ago.
Okay.
Years ago. I got
So,
married when I was 20, Kendra.
okay.
So I've been divorced since I was 25. So it'll be almost 20 years I've been divorced.
Oh, she got divorced after 5 years.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And what's your zodiac sign?
Capricorn.
Capricorn. All right. So we got Sarah, Greenville, South Carolina, 42, Capricorn, college professor, mom to three, two by her ex-husband, one by outside situation. And let's do it. What kind of man you looking for, girl?
You know what? To be honest with you, Kendra, I'm not really looking for a man. I want a man to look at me like how Jacob looked at Rachel or how David looked at Bathsheba and just knew she's the one. That is just what I want. I just want a man to look at me and it's something inside of him that makes him feel like I cannot get this girl out of my head. I have to have her. It ain't even about what I'm looking for. It's about him finding me.
Woo! So you're just putting yourself out here for him to find you.
That's it. Where are you at? Where are you at?
Okay, so with that being said, I'll ask questions. I ask the same questions, but I'll try to
Okay.
ask from that point of view. So the man that finds you, what are
Yes.
some deal breakers you don't want this man to have?
You know what? I need a man that's humble. So the arrogance, I don't like it. I don't like a liar. Can't stand a liar. I don't like lack of emotional intelligence. So I can't, I'm feeling some type of way. We need some sort of vocabulary. We need to be able to express how we feel, our thoughts, our ideas. Even if we can't say them initially, we need to be able to think about them, come back, have a discussion about them. You need to know Jesus. So I saw something like it was on an Instagram reel, and they were asking people at the bar name 5 books of the Bible. That's not the first 5. So I need somebody that can name 15. That's not the first 5. So if you can't name 15 books of the Bible, that's not the first 5. You ain't for me. But that's, I would like a father. I would like a man that, you know what school time is. You know what school supplies are. You know these things, and not necessarily for the money, because clearly I do well for myself. But I would just like somebody that can add to what I have going on here.
So a couple of things. What was the situation with your 5-year-old dad?
You know what? My 5-year-old's dad, when I met him, he was different from any man that I had dated. He's an entrepreneur. He makes over $300,000 a year. So it's not about the money. But I think the arrogance, I also think, unfortunately, when people ask you, which is a question I hate, but it's one I've learned to answer. When men say, "Why are you single?" And I think the answer is, men, I like men first. Like, I'll know when I meet you after I do my interview process 2-3 conversations, yep, this is something I can deal with. But with men, with with Instagram and Facebook, I think that they have this checklist of need to look like this, be like this age, this. And I think they like me too late. They all come back with rings and vows and promises, but they like me too late. So I need somebody to like me up front. And I think he liked me too late. That's what I'm gonna say. I think that
Well, let me
everything was
ask you
great.
this, because if you're still single, why not give him a chance?
You know why, Kendra? Because it makes me feel like if I like you up front and then you do whatever you want to do for 5 or 6 years and then you come back, it makes me feel like you'll do. You know what? I done been out here. I've done all this. You'll do. Sarah will do. I don't want to do. I want you to meet me and you the one for me. I don't want to do. So either you're going to have to lock in or that's it.
So let me ask you on the opposite. When you guys were together 5 years ago, was it a committed relationship?
We were in a committed relationship.
So because you guys have a child together, so did y'all have talks about building a life together, or was the baby kind of like a result of fun activities?
So the baby was he got dropped out the sky. He definitely wasn't planned. So I know this is a crazy story, and I was on your show during COVID. So in 2021, when the baby was like little, okay, because he was
Oh,
born
you
in
was? I
2019.
gotta find that.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. I had braces and I was in Indiana at the time. I moved here anyway. Fast forward. So when we met in 2018, and we met in 2017. 2018, I was liking him, but when I first met him, and I said this on the show the first time, Kendra, I had not had sex in 10 years. Okay. So I was really like devoted and like waiting on God to send me this man. And when I meet him, he was a deacon in the church. And it wasn't about all the money he made, because at the time I didn't know, but he was a really good father. He just seemed like this great guy. Well, anyway, after dating for about 6-7 months, we were in a committed relationship and we started to have sex. And I felt bad about it because I didn't feel like the relationship was progressing to marriage like I needed it to. It just kind of felt like, well, how long are we going to do this? I don't think I'm really good at being a girlfriend. What is a girlfriend? We just have sex and I just cook and I just act like a wife until you just feel like one day, hey, you're the one. I don't even know how to do that. I'm not sure. So a job opportunity came up for me to teach in Oklahoma at a big school there. And he never said, don't go. Like on Friends, I wanted you to hop on the plane and be like, don't go. I want to marry you. And that never happened. He just let me go. So I left. He came to visit for Thanksgiving and he left a package. And that is how the 5-year-old got here.
So now, but for the more recent, he is a guy that has come back. You said with a ring, so he wants to marry you.
Oh no, not him. No, we talk. Oh. No, not him. Me and the 5-year-old's dad. We talk. He calls every day. He's in Indiana. I'm in South Carolina. He's financially responsible for the child. I think that once you're a man and you're single for a long time, I don't even think you know how to be in a relationship, to be honest.
So who's the man that you said came back with a ring, but you don't want him no more because he didn't get it right the first time?
Well, I don't know if this is going to be aired, but I will say.
Okay, hold on. Well, pause. Don't say if you don't want to. It will be aired, so don't
Okay,
say
that's
anything.
fine. This is what I'm gonna say. I can't. Okay, let me explain something to you. I like this man a lot. This man that I'm talking about, I liked him a lot. He was very handsome and all together. Now he looks like Santa Claus. He done gained a lot of weight. He's pushing 60, and now you want to marry me now? No, thank you. Let me tell you, and I want to tell a whole bunch of women out there that want these older men, the difference between a man when he starts to like take that decline, the difference between 52 and 57 is the difference between a boy from 12 to 17. It's a big 5 years. It's not the same as 32 to 37. It's not the same as 42 to 47. 52 to 57, you have a senior citizen now. I'm just saying.
Okay. Okay. So when you wanted him, he was out there. He was out in the streets. But now that he in the house,
Now you AARP. Now, you calling. Now you in counseling.
Sarah said no. Sarah said no.
No, 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 no,
Well,
no.
child, let's keep going. I'm jumping around my questions. Okay. So did I
Okay.
ask you if the guy has to look a certain way?
Um, you need to be handsome to me, just like I would like to be pretty to you.
Okay. Should he make a certain amount of money?
At least, I would say at least 70. I can
Okay.
work with that.
She can work with 70. Should he be in Greenville, South Carolina?
He doesn't have to be. I don't think that this is going to be my forever home.
Okay. Three
I really
flaws.
like that. I really like that guy that was from Indianapolis that everybody was dogging, saying that he looked like a bouncer. I lived in Indianapolis for 10 years. That was on Instagram like
Yeah,
a couple hours
Brian.
ago.
Okay, so she's talking
Brian.
about Brian. Yeah, I already said, listen, Brian had all the things the
I
ladies
know, but
like.
I have a 5-year-old, so I probably wouldn't check Brian's
No,
box.
oh yeah, he said, because the thing with Brian, I'm gonna show the people, he will be a highlight, but I'm gonna show y'all who she's talking about. But the thing with Brian, he doesn't want no kids though.
No, yeah, he wants a child in middle school. That's what he said. Because his youngest is
Period.
in middle school, so he
Yeah.
doesn't want to deal with a kid younger than middle school.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's talking about him. He was 43. He doesn't want any more kids. So he prefers a single mom. Just wants the kid to be no younger than 10.
Yeah. Brian. He was
Okay.
handsome though.
Okay. But yeah, he'll be a highlight. So I said may the best lady win. For those who want to
Okay.
know, it's Stack 44. Stack 44 is his name, or the Kendra G singles dating app, Stack 44. Okay. All right. So you said 70. All right, girl. Let's do the Kendra Cam because
Okay.
you
Okay, I'm
know that they
nervous
waiting.
now. I don't even, and then I don't know how to flip my camera. So I guess my question is, should I put it on the fireplace and sit back?
I don't know how your house is set up. We just got to see your full body. So wherever you want to put it up so we can see your full body.
Can you see my full body?
Okay. All right. We can see it. Yes, we can. Okay,
Okay.
girl. All right. I love that top.
Thank you. I feel like it don't really do nothing for me. I feel like I do got a little waist, a little bit. I'm 42.
Okay. You have a lot of paid questions. Do you want them?
Sure.
Okay. Let's
Be nice,
start.
y'all. Be nice, but that's okay if you're not. I could take it. I'm a professor. People ask me all kind of crazy stuff.
Okay. Albert C said, and now you're a single mother, and now you're calling Kendra again.
What does that mean?
I'm not sure what you said to make them say that. I don't know.
I don't know either. Okay.
Because your first child, you was married, correct? Well,
My first two.
your first two,
Yep.
you was married. Okay. I was right. Ain't nothing about this interview is humble. She wouldn't date herself. Would you date yourself?
I would. I am very humble. I
Okay.
am very humble. If you don't, well, let me just say this. If I don't come off as humble, I would like to apologize. I am humble in heart and in spirit. So I'm not sure what I said to make someone feel that I'm not humble. But I am, and maybe everybody's definition of humble is different. But I don't mean to come off arrogant. Maybe I might come off as confident, and there's nothing wrong with confidence, but cockiness and arrogance to me is just a little bit different.
Okay. Okay. Abraham Roberts says, classic, this is a compliment. Classic and naturally beautiful, educated and biblical, reasonable expectations. I hope a great man finds you.
Oh,
Abraham
thank you,
likes you.
Abraham. Like Abraham and Sarah. Okay.
Okay. I don't know. Let me see. I think Katrina said, you're a very beautiful person. I hope that special someone finds you. Question. I don't mean to pray, but how long did you date the 5-year-old dad prior to getting pregnant by him?
How long? We dated for a year. And then it was oh my gosh. And let me just say this to everybody. Now this is I feel like, you know, I was just gonna have my baby. I've been pregnant 3 times and I have 3 kids. I cried every day for that 9 months. I used to go to church, Kendra, and I could not go into the sanctuary. I would sit in the foyer and I would wail. And the old ladies would come and cry over me because I used to be a Bible study leader. I just felt like I had the scarlet letter on my forehead. It was a very traumatic time, but I felt like dang, for $300, I can just make this all go away and nobody would know. And I just had to be true to myself. And it was a terrible time in my life. I was ostracized. I was heartbroken. I couldn't believe God let that happen to me after being celibate for 10 years. I was like, for 10 years, you couldn't send me somebody in 10 years. Then you turn on the TV and you hear Fantasia talk about, I fasted for a year and I got this great man. I'm like, where's mine? Where's mine? So I felt let down by God. I felt let down by myself. I felt like I let my teenage kids down. I mean, it was a very low point, but you know what? I had to live in my truth and walk in my own truth. And he's here and it is what it is.
I always say this, babies are blessings, right? So sometimes they don't always come the way you want them to come through, but all children are blessings. I think everybody will agree to that. But why, can I just say this? Why did God get the blame? Because you had to do the activity to create the child. So was
He
that
did.
God's fault?
No. So let me tell you something. So looking back, you know you can't blame God, but you're in this space to where you feel like you're so close to him. And I was like, I had made this vow, like, I'm not gonna have sex till I got married. And I made that vow when I was 25. And that's when I got divorced, when I was 25. And so all these years, I dated, I was engaged to this guy. That didn't work out, and we never had sex. And I waited, and then you start to feel like I'm missing out on all my 20s. And then you get to be in your 30s and you start to feel like, am I going crazy? Am I just throwing all this out the window? And then I meet this guy that I think is like this really good guy, and he's never pressured me for sex or anything like that. So I will put that all on me. But I'm telling you, even like the first day we had sex, Kendra, I went to the grocery store afterwards and I just felt numb, like, oh my gosh, what did I do? Because after 10 years, that's like a big deal, right? But I think I was mad at God because I felt like every other man before that, if he wasn't for me, I felt like God would always be like, he ain't it. And he was like real strong about it, or he would send me a sign. And I never got that sign with this guy. And I prayed about it. And it just, another thing is that, God is all knowing. And so in my mind, I felt like you knew I was going to fail. You knew I couldn't go longer than 10 years. You couldn't send me somebody in 10 years before I failed. You couldn't send me. I'm only human. I had this high expectation of him. And now I don't blame him at all. It was me, obviously. But at that time, I was hurt and I had a lot of these emotions. And and a lot of people knew my story. And like I said, I was, a Bible study uh, leader, and, I was a prayer lady in the church and all this other stuff. And I just felt shame. I felt shamed. I felt horrible. But
Let me
I
ask
just,
you this though. Okay, so at this time, you had made a vow of celibacy to marriage, right?
I did. Yeah.
Okay, so let's just start right there. So God did give you a sign because that wasn't your husband. So if you decided to listen, we're all human, right?
Yeah.
There's a moment in my life where I was upset with God, and it was when my mother died. When my mother died, I was very mad at God because I felt like God, I believe, like I'm a believer.
Yeah.
So I felt like God, you could have saved my mother. So I remember that moment. But there's been a lot of things I've done in life, and I have to just own up to listen, this is my action that caused this reaction. And as humans, a lot of times we blame God for things that we do in the human act. So I just feel
Absolutely.
like, I think you said you don't blame God anymore. So
I
that's
don't.
good.
No, 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 no. It was during that time, because you got to think this is 5 years ago. So no, I don't anymore. But and you have to take accountability. Just like, when God asked Adam in the garden, he said, who gave you that apple? And what he said, the woman you gave me. Like, he blamed God, he just couldn't answer the question. He said, the woman you gave me. So I think that as humans, sometimes we do have that tendency to blame him when really it's us. And that takes a lot of maturing. And no matter how hurt we were. And I think the shame, did a lot to me, or the fact that I didn't hold up my end of the bargain, that I did not hold up my end of the bargain.
Okay. So when was okay? I'm trying to think our last question. So your last relationship was when?
Was his dad, my real last relationship. I mean, I've dated, but hasn't been nothing serious.
Okay, you don't have to answer, but I'm gonna ask. When's the last time you was intimate with someone?
I ain't answering.
Okay. 3 flaws you have to work on.
Three flaws. Well, clearly from this, people are saying I'm arrogant, which I'm not at all. You would have to know me. But maybe I come off overconfident. Something that I do for sure know I need to work on is that you ever know somebody that they really have a gift with telling you direct things, but they're very nice about it? That's not me. I'm just very direct. This is it. You didn't turn it in on time. That's an F. I don't know what to tell you. That's something that I need to work on. It's like the niceness, tactfulness of being direct. Number two, my mother would tell you that my life is all about the Sarah show. And if you can't hop on the Sarah show, then you get left behind. And it's very hard because I have been driving this steamliner, if you will, of a career and, raising these kids and living this life for so long that it is hard to jump on someone else's ship and have them drive it and you be the passenger and you trust and believe that everything is going to go okay while you still, have your own autonomy in your career and things like that. So that's probably something that I would need to grow into. It would definitely be a learning curve for me. And lastly, I would need to work on, I want to say being a little bit open-minded. I know that sometimes I can be critical. I think dating jades you a lot of times, especially when you meet, you know, not your person. I'm gonna say not your person, not your person after not your person after not your person. And things start to look like it's going a certain way, or there's only so many certain possibilities. And I think that I need to be a little bit more open-minded and maybe have more faith in the dating area.
Okay. And why would a guy be lucky to be with you?
Because I would just be his person. I can't say. He would just have to know I'm his person. Like, he would just have to know, where have you been my whole life? You're my person. That's it. I can't say, because you know what, Kendra?
So
Everybody.
basically, okay, you start off with this way. You want a man that watches this interview and just knows you are his wife, and that's just what it is. He reaches out to you. He says, Sarah, I saw you on the Kendra G Singles Live show. You are my wife.
Or not even, okay, we don't have to take it so deep, Kendra. There's something about you. I couldn't quite put my finger on it. You drawed me in. Like, we could start there. We can start there. We ain't got to start with I knew you as my wife. But let's just start with there was something about you that drew me to you. And I couldn't stop thinking
Well, you're
about
gonna
you.
get a lot of African men that's gonna tell you that, child. Something about you that drew me to you was the fact that your ass is in America. They gonna say you drew me so into you that
Okay. Well, I
I
don't
am your king. I am your king that you
okay,
have
I'm
been
I'm not
waiting
looking
for.
for that. I would like an American.
Okay, well
I
let's,
don't want to
because
pass
I'm
out
like that
citizenship.
line. You about to get
Although
that easy.
my mother thinks that I need to be flaunting my United States citizenship, but I don't
Oh,
want to do
okay.
that. Yeah.
Okay, so again, this man will see you and know you are his wife.
Yeah, and you know what? I mean, I know men don't care about I know men don't care about how much money you have and things like that. But men should care about competence. Men should care about somebody that can add to your life. Men should care about coming home after a long day and being able to talk to somebody about your problems and having someone that can listen, that can give you great feedback, that can comb through ideas with you, that can partner with you to do things better, to critically think. I mean, those are qualities that I have. You might not care about what I can bring to the table, but you want to come home and have a competent conversation with somebody that can help you expand or build upon what you're doing.
Well, to be fair, and I'm not telling you to marry this man, but according to what you told us, there is a man who is willing to marry you right now. It's just he's not the guy you desire anymore.
Couldn't imagine them on top of me.
So this is what it really comes down to: is it's not just about marriage, because those qualities you describe, there's a guy that has
I
that.
could marry. I mean, Kendra.
I'm not talking, but hold on, real quick. I'm not, and to be clear, I'm not telling you that you need to marry this man. So I'm
Right,
not
but you
saying
could be
that.
married tomorrow. You could be married.
Exactly.
You could, right? I could look at you and tell.
Oh,
You you got a roster. You could be married tomorrow. We all could. Let's be real now.
exactly.
Okay.
But what I'm saying to you is this is important for you, correct?
I got to be able to envision you at minimal on top of.
Okay, well, there you have it. There you
Okay.
have it. All right, Sarah. Well, the time has come. We have some more paid questions for you. You done hit a lot of posts.
Okay.
Let me see. For men believers, whoever marries a divorced woman commits adultery. Matthew 5:32. Stay away from divorcees.
Well, that is not what the Bible says. And actually, well, okay, let's just say that is what the Bible says in Matthew. But if you look in First Corinthians chapter 7, the Bible says that if ever the unbelievers leave, that you are, if whenever the unbeliever leaves, you are free. Okay. So Jesus came not necessarily that we should check all these laws, because for the Old Testament, we had the laws. We had 700 Levitical laws. If our goal was to just check off all these boxes and create all these laws, we wouldn't need Jesus. Even when the young rich ruler came, he said, Jesus, I follow all the laws. He said, good, go sell everything you got. He was proving a point of it's not about you following all these laws. It's about who has your heart. So in the Old Testament, God actually gave the law that you could divorce your wife. But Jesus, when he came in Matthew, he said, I have a greater law because it's about your heart. You just getting rid of these women for no reason. But Paul does make the distinction in First Corinthians chapter 7, if you want to go read that you are no longer bound by that person if the unbeliever leaves. My ex-husband actually was an unbeliever. He went to the penitentiary. He went to prison. Actually, I married him on the 4th floor of the Lucas County Jail, so I wouldn't have to testify against him because he was facing life in prison. So I did him a favor so he wouldn't have to go to jail for the rest of his life. Okay. So I would say that marriage, even though I was married and I stayed married to him, he left me for a woman that he met in prison. And when he left, he never came back home. So when the unbelieving spouse leaves, you are free. And I'm no longer under bondage. And God never calls us under bondage. Nobody's under bondage. We are free from the curse of law of sin and death. So you can't use the Bible to put me in bondage.
Girl, now you know you revealing that your husband was in the penitentiary. Now you got all these other questions.
And they can bring them on. I mean, it's a lot of other questions they can ask, but you got to think though, too. You know, I got my first child I had when I was 19, Kendra. My second child I had when I was 20. And just because your dad is in the home, my dad was in the home, but every man isn't a strong man. You know, some men really don't have anything to teach you. Some men are just there, but they don't really have anything to pour into you either.
Okay. The Dapper 23 said, God said, keep your name out his mouth. Hold yourself accountable for your actions.
Show me that scripture, the Dapper. That was a waste of $5. Go ahead.
Love and Dating Los Angeles said, God was telling you no, but his 300K, once you found out about it, was saying yes.
Actually, I didn't know Love and Dating Los Angeles High. I actually did not know how much money he made until we opened a business together. And we didn't open the business together until after we had the baby. So after we had the baby, he was like, you know what, we should start a business together. But he didn't just come out and tell me how much money he made. No, I didn't know that. He owned his own business. That's not something I knew.
Okay.
And we're friends now.
You're friends now.
We are friends now.
Rated R said, the guy didn't even ask you to stay when you moved to another state. You let him come back into town and get you pregnant. How many signs did you need?
Well, I guess I will say, where's my phone charger? I guess I'll say that don't trust natural family planning. So don't check your like I wasn't on birth control or anything like that. I was like checking my basal temperature, all of this other stuff. But I beat myself up a lot about that. I'm not beating myself up over my 5-year-old. I let him come back into town and get me pregnant. You know what? I sure did. And I was devastated by it. But I love my baby, so I'm okay with it. And the guy that's for me, he'll be okay with it too.
Okay. The guy that's for her will be okay with it too. Okay, this might be the last one. For someone that knows the Bible so well, why didn't you marry before you carry every time?
Well, here's the thing. If we were all able to do something that calls self-regulation, because actually I teach behavior theory. So if everybody was able to self-regulate, we would all be perfect, because life is just being able to self-regulate and make the best decisions over and over again, right? So sometimes we don't make the best decisions. Sometimes, you know, people make decisions and then they make a decision to, I'm going to live with the decisions that I make. And so sometimes you can know the Bible and you still make poor decisions, just like the prophets in the Old Testament. A lot of them, they knew God. The Bible says David walked with God. A lot of these people was after God's own heart. And you know what? They made bad decisions. That's why I love the Bible, because the people are so relatable. They're not these perfect people. The only perfect person that's in that book is Jesus Christ.
Okay, okay. Abraham Robert says, never challenge someone who actually knows the Bible. LOL. Sarah came ready. We are under grace, and thank God we are, because we all need it. Now that is true.
That is the truth.
Okay. All right, we're gonna do this. All right, we all right. She held her own. She had a lot to say. Now, to be clear, the only man that should reach out to her is the man that has watched this and understands you are the one for me. You got to be in America, she said. Are you
Got to
one of
be in
the
America. You need to make about 70,000, okay? And we can go from there. And you got to be humble, and we can go from there. And you got to be handsome to me, and I got to be cute to you, and we can go from there.
What was the age range?
I want to do like 40 to 49. You know, after 50, Kendra, it's like
Say it again.
40 to 49.
40 to 49. Okay.
After
And
50, people need pills and things like that.
oh God, Sarah.
Call them, girl. Call them when you need them.
Oh God.
It's getting
So,
rough.
okay, so for clarity, so we're all clear. You want a man with a working body part without assistance.
That would be nice. And we could pray over it every night. But yes, I would like a working body part. You know, I went a long time without it. So I have a goal of like a really like hot, sexy marriage.
Okay. A quick question. Are you on the Kendra G Singles dating app?
No, I didn't even know about
Sarah, you
it.
did all this and you not on the dating
I
app.
didn't even know. I didn't even know. How can they get in contact with me? On Instagram?
No, they cannot. You have to be, the dating app is the only thing you can shout out. So you need to, I'm about to get one more person. You need to set
Okay.
up your profile, and then I'll bring you back on for you to tell the guy that can find you your profile.
Okay,
But you can only,
when can I come back after I get this profile,
I
Kendra?
think you should do it right now, because I would make you a highlight and you will want the men to know how to reach out to you. So I'm gonna get another person while I'm talking to them. Set up your profile, and I'll bring you back on for a second to share it with everybody.
Okay, what's the app? What's the app?
My name, Kendra G Singles.
Okay, I'm about to do it right now.
You gotta do it right now. Okay.
Okay.
Bye, Sarah. You have your profile?
I do. Kendra, these comments are so mean that it makes me want to cry. But I'm not. But I do have my username. It's ms.say.
Yep, it came up right away. If you do ms.s, she'll come right up. ms.s. ms.s. These are pretty pictures. So guys, spell it out for the people.
ms.sayrah, like Sarah. That's what the Southern people call you.
ms.sayrah. So let me tell you how it works, fellas. If you like her, if you the one, you can DM her. You can shoot your shot before you match. You hit that right there. It's called shoot your shot. I'm gonna send her a message right now. Hey, girl. Hey, girl. Hey, girl. Hey. So I sent you a voice message, and you see it? You got a notification?
I did. So I saw something pop up. Yep, I got it from Kendra.
Yep, that's from me. So that's the way, fellas, you can get her attention first. You can send her a DM. Also, you can send her a gift. You can send her a gift if you want to get her attention fast too. So
thank you.
okay,
And don't say nothing mean, because guess what? We're not trying to marry 100 people. We just want one. If I'm not for you, I'm just not for you. And that's okay.
That's okay. I will say this, Sarah.
Tell me.
I don't condone it, but you know how they get down over here, child. These cousins
I know.
So that's one thing. Second, I know you don't think it's mean. But when you talked about the guy that wanted to marry you and you said he had a Santa Claus stomach, he needs a pill. Like those things come across as mean.
But let me say this. You know what though, Kendra? I was crazy about this man when I first met him. He didn't look like that. Okay. So what I'm trying to explain to you is that 8 years went by. And now you spinning the block looking like a completely different person. Well, guess what? I liked you then. And it's no different than men posting these memes of Faith Evans in 1992 and now in 2025 to our back in high school when I wanted you versus when you want me now. It's no different. But when women do it, we're diabolical. Right? When really, guess what? If you was my man now with that Santa Claus stomach and looking like that, and you would have married me 8 years ago, baby, I would rub that stomach every night. But you didn't want me then. You wanted just like the man that want the girl, but she come back with 4 kids 8 years later. No, I didn't. I wanted you then.
Okay,
Women can't
Sarah,
feel the same way.
here's the deal. You have the right to share, right? So I just want you to understand, however you explain it, some men are going to feel like that was mean to say. It's mean to say that you want a guy that doesn't need a pill, whatever. You know, that's a very sensitive topic for men.
Okay.
So I'm not necessarily excusing, but I think that this happens often on my show. Women speak very freely about the things that they don't want. And men come back to sometimes those comments. So it's two things can be true. I'm not condoning the mean behavior, but you got
Okay.
to understand where they might be coming from just some of the stuff. And then sometimes some people are just mean spirit, and you just pray for those people because it just is what it is, child. The
Yeah.
sun come out and they'll just be sad. It's just what it is. But
Yeah.
I think that my show. I always say this: it takes a lot of courage, child, because my cousin's gonna cousin. But hopefully, at the end, we find this man that just sees you and
He
sees you.
finds me. I want him to find me.
Okay, well, we
I'm
hope
just
that.
putting myself on a platform. But go ahead.
Okay, well, we hope that the man that is for you
Yes.
finds you, and we'll.
Thank you.
Okay, okay, so
Kendra, you look beautiful.
thank you so
And
much.
I'm rooting from you from afar too.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Sarah, baby.
Thank you.
Can you post
Bye.
how it goes, honey? Bye, baby.
Okay. Bye.
The all new Kendra G Singles dating app is available now on iPhones and Android phones. Just go to your App Store or Google Play Store and download now.